sell rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The break room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the break room.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
The newest and most authentic Mexican restaurant on Panama City Beach, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, 1136 Thomas Drive across from the Navy base. Not only do they have a great location and atmosphere, but they also have happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music on Wednesdays and Saturdays from 5:30 until 9. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Making it to work on time may be hard, but the journey itself doesn't have to be. When I come back, I'll provide some commuting comforts that'll make your 5 o'clock horses easier to ride. So what creature comforts do commuters crave in their automotive beast of burden? Per Edmunds.com, comfortable seats and well-designed cup holders make the ride in the saddle physically cozy, while in-dash CD players and wheel-mounted radio controls allow ample entertainment with minimal hassle. In-console PowerPoints and hands-free voice-activated phone systems make it easy for office-bound pilgrims to do a little business before they arrive. And since feeding the horses under your hood can take the gold right out of your saddlebags, good gas mileage can really make a difference between an old gray mare and a red-hot pony. I'm Bobby Likas. Likas, you'll love it.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN. Welcome to the WPLQ Port St. Joe. It's time for the Afternoon Underdogs.
Wow.
Right now. Opinionated and unfiltered. The hot takes, the rants, and the sports talk you crave.
Give it to me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
My bad, Bone Crusher. I messed up the legal ID there, but we are live out here at Dave & Buster's. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Man, Florida just took down TCU, I'm pretty sure, because Kyle Albritton has came inside the building and he found out where we're at. But he's not going to be the winner of the $10 power play card. We're out here at Dave & Buster's in Pier Park, and if you come find us, you're going to be getting a $10 power play card to Dave & Buster's, which is really worth the value of $20 here on Wednesdays, and happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. Happy hour is half-price cocktails. And what do we have today? What was on the agenda today for the appetizers?
So we went back to day one here. We got some nachos.
Oh, we did have to get the nachos, yeah.
It's been a long time for us, and they were good as always. But we got the barbecue chicken flatbread that we said we were going to get last week. And boy, it was as promised, wasn't it?
Oh, it was so good, man. And it had things on there that you're not a huge fan on, but it's basically flatbread. You got some chicken on there that just came off the grill, some red onions, some banana peppers, which I love. Absolutely love banana peppers. But Kyle's not a big fan of the red onions or the onions in general, so he wasn't the biggest fan of it. But that's just because if you take the onions off, you would have absolutely loved it. Good stuff, though, in the nachos as well. So next time you come out here to Dave & Buster's, something that the Underdogs made you crave, the barbecue chicken flatbread.
Absolutely do it. It's really good. The sauce is maybe the best part.
Yeah, no doubt, man, because it's got a lot of barbecue sauce on it, but then it's got like a nice little drizzle of the buffalo sauce as well. You guys can give us a text today at 850-215-6290. Also got a great show planned for you. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the Men's College World Series. We're going to be getting into our GOAT of GOAT today, our GOAT of GOATs. We've got the results for round 1 of the voting. And we're going to announce all the matchups, the winners for the matchups. We have, 4 matchups that we have to break the ties of. And what we consider to be a tie here was anything in the range of 45 to 55%. So if, one movie had 55% and the other movie 45%, then we're going to break the tie at that point.
And there is one that is, like, with over 60 responses, by the way, on this, there's one that is exactly sitting at 50-50, which is absolutely crazy.
50-50?
Yeah.
And is it one of the movies that are just alike?
Yeah.
Like The Longest Yard, or?
Well, it's one of those two options. So we'll do the next. What's a good never mind. We'll talk.
We're gonna.
I'll text you.
In the break. Don't forget, we've got 3 local shows right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. You've got the Coach James Hell Show. Then the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can experience the shift from the morning to the afternoon, and we wrap up your afternoons here on ESPN Northwest Florida with the Afternoon Underdogs and the lady herself, the Assistant General Manager of Dave and Buster's, as always, she's wearing pink on Wednesdays. We've got Amanda Muller. Amanda, how's it going?
It's great. How are you guys?
I am doing fantastic.
You didn't wear
pink? In a couple of years, after the sun gets that, it will be faded pink.
I have pink stretch marks, so that's
yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
And we're here.
Yeah, no doubt. Getting off to a great start as always on Wednesdays. Yeah, Bella's taking care of us this afternoon. I mean, she's been doing it every Wednesday, so we've just kind of forgotten to give her the shout outs and stuff. But
this is food, yes.
Yeah, yes. You can have anything that you want at this table, Amanda.
I just wonder, whose spot am I in?
Oh, yours, because Drew's in LA today.
I know. Were you hanging out eating?
How about Drew? So last week he, was telling us he's going to be going to the Dodgers game. They're taking on the Angels in Anaheim tonight, and he didn't know what the pitching matchup was going to be. And he's looking out, and he's going to be able to watch Ohtani.
Yeah.
On the mound tonight, which is that's great, man. I'm really excited for Drew. He's a great guy, and he definitely deserves that. But come find us out here at Dave & Buster's. If you can find where we're at, then you're going to be getting a $10 Power Play gift card or Power Play card.
I'd like to badmouth Drew for a second if we can.
Yes,
sure,
of course.
Absolutely.
We live for this.
I obviously know he's in LA. He's going to have a great time. He's going to get to see one of the most
and better be tuning in.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure.
You should be hearing this live, Drew.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm trying to think, he planned this, right? Because what happened this past weekend, David?
What happened
in Houston, Texas this past weekend?
Man, I think that them old Cincinnati Redlegs got the brooms out over there in Houston, or was it in Cincinnati?
That group chat was just
in Houston.
Hilarious.
The first time since June of 2021 that the Houston Astros have been swept at home, and it was by the Cincinnati Reds, the first place Cincinnati Reds. I feel like every week we come in here and I'm a little bit more excited. It was like, well, they're only 5 back. Or they're only 2.5 back. Now they're fixing to be 2 up.
They're doing, they're on a streak right now. It went well for you, I'll give you that. And I love seeing Houston get swept.
Hey, look at the hat I'm wearing today. I'm wearing
I love that.
Yeah, I was going to wear an old Milwaukee Brewers hat. I don't know why I have so many hats within the National League.
The old Milwaukee's Brewer logo, though, is just
that's the
fire.
one I got.
The MB that everyone's like,
no, not that one. I got the little glove. I got the glove.
It's an M and a B.
Well, the more you know.
I know, yeah. If you ever look at it, the little glove is an M and it's a B, so it's Milwaukee Brewers. And nobody ever knows. I was just about to say that. Like, nobody realizes the old glove logo is actually an M and a B. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the tidbits of information. Can't wait, as always, on Wednesdays at the top of hour number 2. We play a little Would You Rather. Got some great questions there. And then since we're only, 80 days now away from the NFL season, it's 78 days away from the NFL season. We've got some NFL and college football questions that we will kick the can around with. But yeah, Florida takes down TCU. I believe the final score to that one was 2-1. LSU dismantled Tennessee last night 5-0. So they're going to be moving on here. And that should be, I mean, who are you wanting to see in the final in the Men's College World Series?
Wake Forest, and hopefully they embarrass Florida.
Okay, so you want some Wake Forest in Florida then?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Florida, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I do. I'm okay with it.
Well, it is what it is. Actually, the final score of that was 3-2 for Florida over TCU, though. And you want to see Florida win the whole thing. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But still, a little horned frog is cute.
Yeah, they took down TCU today, though. TCU would have had to beat Florida twice. And same way with LSU and Wake Forest tonight. LSU is going to have to beat Wake Forest twice to move on to the World Series. So that could be very interesting. You're basically going to see if LSU beats Wake Forest tonight, they'll essentially have played their own best-of-3 series within the Men's College World Series. And then they'll have a best-of-3 with whoever ends up being in the Men's College World Series final. We had a little trade action in the NBA today. Did we find out the details? Kristaps Porzingis is now a Boston Celtic, which involved in the deal Malcolm Brogdon, former Pacer, former Milwaukee Buck, former Rookie of the Year. I believe he was Rookie of the Year when he was with Milwaukee, then Sixth Man of the Year here with Boston. And he's going to be with the Clip Show now.
Traded to the Clippers. I think it also included Marcus Morris going to the Wizards. I think it had to have been a 4-team trade in that. Or no, who was Porzingis with last year?
The Wizards.
Okay, so he was with the Wizards. Okay, so it was a 3-team trade in that.
I'd like to play for a team as cool as like the Wizards.
Yeah?
You're a wizard.
Yeah,
You're a wizard, Harry.
Why doesn't the rest of the NBA want to play with the Washington
Like they should have like Harry Potter theme nights.
Yeah, that I guess you
quad out the stadium and like the different houses would be great.
You could absolutely do that. I haven't seen anything else on Porzingis yet, so can't wait to find out some more details. I haven't seen any of the details from that, so I'll wait till Kyle finds something. The Nuggets and the Pacers got into a little trade deal as well. Nuggets are going to be getting the 29th and the 32nd overall pick in the draft Thursday, trading with the Pacers, and the Pacers are getting a 2024 first-round pick and the 40th overall pick in this year's draft. I don't know why I don't know why.
That doesn't seem like a good pick.
Well, it's just trade. Like, so basically you're going to give up this is a first and a second round pick, essentially, because you've only got 30 teams in the NBA, but a very late first round pick, but a very early second round pick, and then you're trading for 2024. You're going to get a first round pick, which isn't going to be great because the Nuggets are going to be great next year.
Oh, yeah.
And then you also get the 40th overall pick. So basically you're saying, or what I feel you're saying, is there's not enough late round quality picks for you to do this year, for you to try to get this year, and you're going to go for it next year. We'll see how that works out. But the Nuggets, man, they're very active in the trading world right now, and they're really doing their best to create a future dynasty.
Colin Cowherd said it on his show one day. I was listening on the radio station here, and he said that the best get better while they're good, while the worst try to get better when they're not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if you try to get better when you're already good, that's a championship mentality. Like, just because you won the championship with this team doesn't mean that that's the team you should do it again with. Like, you should try to get better on every aspect.
Yeah.
And I have this conversation with people all the time about like quarterbacks and stuff. Like, of course, like, okay, our team won 5-3 today, right? Let's just talking about the Reds. It's not focusing on the negative necessarily, but it's just saying, like, what could we have done better? Because next, like, I guarantee you every athlete on that field, at least the ones that want to win a championship, if you go 4 for 5 with 2 doubles, a couple RBIs, but then you struck out, you're not looking at the 4 hits. You're looking at that, like, I really wanted to go 5 for 5.
Yeah, no doubt.
What could I have done differently to go 5 for 5? Joe Burrow throws 5 touchdowns and a pick. He wants to know, like, what did I do wrong to throw that pick? So just championship mentality. That's what winners do. That when winners are good, they want to get better.
Well, the Packers used to do that, and I had to grow up with it. But 31 years of quarterback you couldn't touch because they had a good backup.
Speaking of bad quarterbacks,
they always thought about the future, but then they messed up and got love, and I don't know what happened.
Speaking of bad quarterbacks, the future. You should see the video I sent Amanda.
Kyle sends me this video today, and it's just like some guy that should not be comparing any sort of quarterback out there at all. Like, this dude doesn't look like he should be a sports fan in the least. It's probably playing Dungeons and Dragons in the basement, whatever. He goes out there and it's just this Justin Fields' trash video. And I didn't even watch it right away. And I'm just like, no, and angry faces to him. But then I start watching it and I'm like, I'm not even going to listen to this kid. Like, there's you wait, Kyle. You wait for this year.
I'm really intrigued by it because you did see a lot of growth from Justin Fields last year.
Yes, you did.
but that doesn't mean that it's going to translate to year 2. And we talked about this yesterday. Me and Tyler did, and I don't think I have this planned for later on in the show, so we can go ahead and ask it. But who's the Bears' backup running back this year? Because Khalil Herbert's going to be number 1.
Yeah,
but that's what I can't think about you guys is your running room.
Somebody.
Right. And when someone says the name, I'm like, oh, that's
Deontay
right.
Foreman?
That's who it is.
Yeah.
Deontay Foreman. That's right. Yeah, no, that's a really good pickup because I'm trying to make the case for Zeke or a Dalvin. Like, could you imagine Dalvin Cook with Justin Fields? If he was able to stay healthy, I think that would be pretty electric. Right.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely
if any of these
the
players
issue.
could stay healthy. I mean, it's so volatile.
And is DJ Moore going to be? Is he going to be big enough of a factor for it to actually help Justin Fields? I think that he can be. And from what you're hearing from the mini camps and stuff, is that it's working out great. But we can't put that much stock into that.
Still, it's weird, to take the Packers out of the equation for the NFC North, but then you actually have a decent Lions team, a Vikings team that should be doing better than they are every season in the past few years, that I'm just like, I have no idea what's going to happen for the NFC North this year, but I like it. I'm here for it.
Speaking of the Lions, you see the new helmets today? Those are pretty cool.
I thought is it just a concept or is it an actual?
No, it's an actual helmet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they put it on their Twitter.
I do like that then.
We'll let Dave pull it up for a second.
I haven't even seen this yet.
I
thought it was a concept once. I was like, whenever, that'd be cool though.
I think it's their 50th season, I think is what they said.
Okay, they're just alternate helmets, which I think Detroit needs an alternate helmet because they don't really have one. The only thing that's different about the helmets that they might wear, or let's say you're playing Madden and you can scroll through the different helmets that they've had, is just the size of the lion, essentially, and maybe the color of the face mask. I believe maybe they did have a year where they had like a solid blue helmet, or it was just a solid gray helmet.
I feel like I remember that as a tiny person.
So
I still think best alternate uniform goes to the Bengals though. The white tiger,
white, the icy whites. Yeah, that one's a good one. I think there's quite.
It gives me huge Power Ranger vibes.
Well, I think that it started last year, and you're gonna start to see more of those retro vintage type jerseys. Like the Eagles are gonna be bringing back Kelly Green. The Titans are gonna be wearing their old Oilers uniforms.
I was gonna say the Titans and the Oilers.
Finally,
gosh, I would get an Oilers jersey tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that, and it's either going to have to be Warren Moon or maybe Steve McNair or Eddie George, but I think I'd have to go with Warren Moon right there. Eddie George was my favorite running back growing up, bar none. A close second was Jerome Bettis, even though the Titans and the Steelers, especially when I was growing up, were kind of rivals. But so the new Lions helmet is kind of like I don't know how you would describe this color blue, not necessarily a cobalt blue, but it's not. It's kind of like the Lions blue. It's like the Lions blue, and it's got a blue and a white vertical stripe there, and then a old school looking lion there. So very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what jersey combination.
Yeah, what kind of happens with that. But I like the alternate. I like the weird change-ups. The Oilers, that's great.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. The old Bronco, too. The old Broncos logo. I loved the old Broncos.
And I like the bright orange and the bright, or they still have the bright orange, but the kind of more royal blue rather than navy blue.
Yeah.
I like that color scheme more. And here's a segment that I want to do one day. I was watching the Braves game last night. They're playing the Phillies, and I was looking at the Phillies uniform. I was like, man, if they had a little bit more blue in it, that would look awesome. And then I'm thinking, well, the Mets essentially are a lot more. They're mainly blue, but they have a little bit of orange. And then you have the Braves who are a navy blue and a little bit of a deeper red, and then you got the Nationals who are a lighter red, about the same as the Phillies, and then a navy blue to go along with that.
Shades.
Right. And so I want to go through each division in baseball and kind of rank them on
jerseys.
Well, not just jerseys, but so here's my thing. When you watch a lot of SEC football, right, man, and if you watch particularly the SEC West, you've got Mississippi State, Alabama, and Arkansas, and Texas A&M.
It's a lot of marooning.
Right. It's a different shade, but if you just turn on and you don't know who the home or the away team is, and like as soon as you turn it on, you
have to check,
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm not a huge fan of that, so I kind of want to rank them on. So, like, you go to the American League West, and you've got the Mariners, the Rangers, the Astros, the A's.
Oh, yeah, you could
exactly
differentiate easily.
Right, and so that's what I want to do is kind of rank the MLB divisions on color
differential
scheme, I guess, essentially.
Their
but
color
not just
wheel
the best
usage.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so that you don't get a lot of same looking
Getting a call
teams
from New York
out
City.
there
I don't
as
know
well.
what it is.
Well, they must have heard us talking about some uniforms. I'm like, what can we do?
Yeah, like, what about the
for
Mets
Giants? Yeah. What
We
about
haven't. Please call in, everybody. Please call in.
850? No, you can't call in today. 850-215-6290. You can text in, though, and you can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you leave any comments there on Facebook, we will read those off. Can't wait to get into our Goat of Goats here. I don't know if you heard this. This is a story I've actually had on the show sheet now for a good two weeks or so, or a week and a half maybe. But Antonio Brown, he had that arena football team, the Albany Empire, and the National Arena League. And they have been kicked out. The Albany Empire have been kicked out of the league because Antonio Brown refused to pay the bills. So there's I think there's 7 teams in the league, and they all have to, if I remember correctly, like I said, it's been about 2 weeks since I read this story, but they all have to, split the certain fees 7 different ways. And he paid the first month's fees when he got in, and then the second, and for the second month, he basically, he didn't necessarily straight up refuse, but questioned the amount of the fees or whatever it was. At the same time, forgot to pay his coach. So his coach ended up resigning because he wasn't getting paid. Forgot to pay the players, or maybe just not forgot, but just didn't pay the players.
Right.
And so with that, they got kicked out of the league. The craziest part of this story is the previous 2 years, the Albany Empire were the champs of the league, back-to-back champions. AB takes over, and they don't even get a chance to go back-to-back because of his financial malfunction, if you will.
That's so crazy, just because, isn't his dad involved in this?
Yeah, I think he was partnered up with him in some way, shape, or form.
Touchdown Eddie Brown. I think I might still have his number.
Yeah.
I sent him a text and be like, hey, man, pay your guys.
Yeah, well, and what's even more wild about that, though, is with Touchdown Eddie Brown, he was a big part of the Arena Football League.
He holds a couple records, yeah.
Right, exactly. Now defunct league, but still, you would think that with his dad kind of having a little skin in the game, that it's like, hey, let's do the right thing here.
Try to get some attention on it, because you're gonna, when you're Antonio Brown and you've had all these headlines, you're gonna bring attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had a real chance to have a positive twist put on this, and doesn't look good right now.
Well, ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Atlanta Braves, brought to you by Dave & Buster's, PCB Hobby, Bill Bird Kia, and the Braves are going to be going on tonight at 5:40, which means that the Afternoon Underdogs show is just going until 5:38 this afternoon, and we're going to get you out there. First pitch, Braves-Phillies, is going to be A.J. Smith-Shawver, the 20-year-old, going up against Aaron Nola, who's been struggling a little bit for those Philadelphia Phillies, but cannot wait for this game to get started. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Head first slide, 2 RBI triple.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Bestway Portable Buildings, Dave & Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the southwest, sprinkles and definite thunderstorms in 82. Light showers and definite thunderstorms tonight, about the same at 77. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and very heavy rain and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 83. The same at 83 Friday, and we'll have heavy rain and definite thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per 1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
The battle for a sixth straight division crown is on, and the Braves are on a charge to bring it home to Atlanta.
3-1. That is jolted. Deep right center field and kiss that goodbye. 1-0 Braves on the homer by Olsen.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball live from Citizens Bank Park as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on the Philadelphia Phillies.
First pitch tonight at 5:40 right after the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's.
You're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and this is ESPN Northwest Florida. Again, you're home for the Atlanta Braves. Braves' first pitch tonight is at 5:40. A.J. Smith-Shawver going up against Aaron Nola. Should be a good one. As we do know, the Cincinnati Reds did take down the Colorado Rockies today, which, what's that, 3? Y'all swept them as well, right? Yeah, so you've got 11-game winning streak, which how long has it been for the Cincinnati Reds?
I think I just walked across the screen. It said 1957.
1957. For some reason, I was thinking 1940 earlier, but I know you said something about 66 years earlier, which would line up perfectly with 1957. Again, guys, you know, we're out here at Dave & Buster's. We're in Pier Park. If you can find where we're at inside of Dave & Buster's, bring your kid down here and let them search for us. You can ask some of the people. It's not like it's not a secret or anything, but come find us and we're going to hook you up with a $10 Power Play card to Dave & Buster's, which is worth $20 essentially if you're playing on Wednesday. And they've also got half price games all day long, and then happy hour right now from 4 to 7 p.m. And I would go ahead and get you a little barbecue flatbread chicken or barbecue chicken flatbread, whatever it's called. Get that while you're taking care of your beverage, and man, you will not be disappointed.
I will say taking the kids around Dave & Buster's is a little bit better during happy hour. You get to drink you a little beer for half price, and it's a little less stressful.
No doubt about it. Well, let's get into our GOAT of GOAT, but before we do that, ESPN Northwest Florida is presenting the Blast at Bay Point. You and a guest could win a round of 18 at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club, the Nicholas Course in beautiful Panama City Beach. And starting Monday, we're going to have a new number to guess in high-low. That is June 26th, this Monday. You got to listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low. When you hear the cue to call, be caller number 10 at 850-215-6290. Caller number 10 automatically wins a large bucket of balls at the driving range. And if you guess the correct number, you and a guest will win a round of 18 at the Nicholas Course at Bay Point Golf Club. The more you listen, the better your chance of guessing the right number in high-low. We're going to have a new number to guess every single Monday. Again, we're taking your text at 850-215-6290, and we're reading off your comments on Facebook. Just go to ESPN Northwest Florida. Now, for our sports movies here, GOAT of GOATs, and we're going to start off here with our I'm sorry. So I meant to tell you I took them all off so I could add the second round. But oh, no.
That's why I went ahead and pulled the bracket over.
All right.
So that
but we're not going to know the percentages.
We're not going to know the percentages.
Dang it, that was the best part.
I understand, but for us to be able to post this quickly after,
yes, I know.
It needed to go ahead and be taken down. So it was really a double-edged sword. But
blame Kyle, everybody. This is not my fault.
Hashtag blame me.
Hey, there we go, man.
Taylor
it's easy.
Swift,
It's easy. You know, All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Kyle, run down it, and then we'll get into we'll make our picks for the ties here.
So I'm just going to kind of run through the ones that we know happened here. We got a couple of we have, I think, precisely 4 that came down just a little bit too close to call it via the vote. So David and I will get the final say. Maybe Amanda, if she gets in here, she's out there on the phone right now, so hopefully she'll be able to get back in soon. New York. All right, so we had Cars Turbo play in. Cars won the play in there. Unfortunately, that was to be the 64th overall seed and go up against Remember the Titans. There were a couple of votes, which I think were probably more like parody votes, but Remember the Titans moved on pretty easily. Space Jam over Space Jam 2, that one moved on really easily as well. Goon over Benchwarmers was a little bit closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Benchwarmers over Goon. It was like about the 65 to 35% range.
And Goon had to make some strides there because Benchwarmers was whooping them, and then some people got in there and voted for Goon. So
I think so, which was probably Sean William Scott and his people probably got in. I think they probably caught wind of this.
Real quick, just to kind of glance over what we talked about in the first segment, it's not an official deal with Porzingis and the Celtics yet, but they are working to acquire them. So that is more than likely going to be happening, though.
Okay, looking forward to that then. That's Porzingis is a really good player. He deserves to be somewhere where he'll have a chance to win.
Same way with Bradley Beal.
Yeah, absolutely. Which... Wow, okay. Yeah. Anyway, A League of Their Own beat out Raging Bull. It was really close for a little while, and then League of Their Own kind of just started taking off on them. We had Invincible over Trouble with the Curve, and surprisingly, what was a blowout there.
That was like an 80 percentile one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Facing the Giants beats Bang the Drum Slowly. Still a movie I haven't seen with Bang the Drum Slowly, but Facing the Giants, a movie that, faith-based Christian football movie that a lot of people in this area especially really enjoyed that one.
Well, let me ask you this, though. So Bang the Drum Slowly, it doesn't move on. Do you think that you will end up watching that movie? Like, I can almost say with a 99%, it won't be anytime soon, if that makes sense.
If I'm scrolling one day looking for something to watch and I see it, I'll probably click it, but I'm not going to search for it and watch it voluntarily like that. Probably wouldn't do that with Slapshot either, to be honest.
I would. I mean, I have already. I would say that I think you would like Slapshot. I really do.
Well, then maybe I'll check it out one day.
It's on Netflix.
Waterboy over McFarlane pretty easily.
Yeah.
McFarlane had a couple votes, but again, I'm sure they were just parody votes.
That's another one that I can't remember seeing. It's a Disney movie, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's got Kevin Costner in it, if I'm not mistaken. But that's another one that I never seen, and it's not high up on my agenda.
Caddyshack over Kicking and Screaming. No surprise on that one either, but Kicking and Screaming did get some nice votes for being a 16 seed against a 1 seed.
Yeah, no doubt.
We had, of course, Bad News Bears, 1976, in 2005. Were completely knotted up at 50% apiece.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there in a second. I didn't mention the one before, Game Plan and Like Mike, one that we're fixing to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
Coach Carter over Slapshot there in the first round.
That was like an 84% or better.
Yeah, that was a big one for sure. White Men Can't Jump with a big win over Bull Durham. Field of Dreams with quite the win over Little Giants, which we kind of saw coming just because of the love for baseball in this area.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's tough, though, because it's like...
It's tough.
Like the Little Giants, man, that's like classic. That's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on steroids, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, then at the same time, the other movie is a classic as well. So.
Yeah. Another one that was too close for us to call via the vote, Replacements and Moneyball. We'll be talking about that one here in a second.
Yeah.
Major League 2 with an easy win over Major League 3. Sandlot with an easy win over Ready to Rumble. We had Happy Gilmore.
Bella shaking her head like, finally a movie I've heard about.
Happy Gilmore with a win over Vision Quest, a big, easy win. Actually, I think that was one of the only unanimous victories that we had. 2005 Longest Yard over 1974 Longest Yard.
What did that? Oh, well, we don't know anymore. Thanks,
I'm so sorry.
But, no.
I think there were a couple votes for 74, but not many. It was like 95 to 5%.
Okay, wow.
Like that.
Wow, that's surprising. That's surprising.
Gridiron Gang with about 65% to 35% takes down Hoosiers. So Hoosiers is out.
Yeah.
Ali over The Natural, which was one that The Natural led for a while, and then as we started getting more votes, Ali overtook it and ended up winning I think it was 61 to 39%.
Yeah.
We had where was I at here? Cool Runnings blew out. He got game. Major League over The Perfect Game, another blowout. Dodgeball blew out King Richard. I think King Richard's maybe just a little fresh right now.
Yeah, it would be like if we put air on this where you might have had 100 or so people watch it that are listeners, but outside of that they would be kind of, I don't want to say ignorant to it, but they would have been ignorant to it.
A movie I haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
so I'm a little ignorant to it.
And yes, it's such a good movie, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to turn that into some spin-off type thing for a TV show.
Yeah, no, for sure. 42 with a big win over $1 Million Baby. Saw that one coming as well. Talladega Nights with a big win over Blades of Glory. Actually, Blades of Glory did have a little bit of a run there. It ended up being like 90 to 10%.
Hey, look at that. There you go. Will Ferrell versus Will Ferrell.
Hey, it's provocative.
Yeah.
Air Bud over Air Bud 2. I believe this one was also unanimous. We Are Marshall over Angels in the outfield.
Wow, Drew, how you feeling? He's out there in the outfield with the Angels right now.
Yeah, he's actually in the outfield with the Angels, so perfect. One that was too close to call that I can't. This is probably the most excited I am to talk about. One is Rudy versus the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Really excited to kind of go into that one with you here.
52% for the Karate Kid and 48% for Rudy. So very close there.
Close enough for us to flip that decision if we want to.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that soon. The Rookie in a blowout win over Bagger Vance, which is
wild.
Wild.
And for those of you who did vote for the Rookie, which don't get me wrong, that's the direction I voted as well, because that's one of my favorite of all of these. But if you haven't watched the Bagger Vance, just give yourself 2.5, 3 hours one day and check that one out, because it's a good one.
I think that's probably more of what this was. Of course, baseball's always going to get the nod.
Which is wild when you talk about movies with baseball, but when it comes to what sport they want to watch, more than likely football.
Right. But go check out Bagger Vance, man. It's such a good movie. Just I don't think it got the love that it deserved here. We Rocky, the entire franchise, we tied that all in together. So that took down the Express. Karate Kid 2 took down Karate Kid 3. And the Mighty Ducks, and what I would say is an upset victory over Radio. There in the first round.
And we don't know the percentage on that one, but it couldn't have been. It had to have been 60 or better.
It had to be 60 or better, or 55, more than 55. I think it was like 58 to 42 or something like that. It was a little close, but not close enough for us to reverse the decision on.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we would have. I think I voted for Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks was definitely mine. And again, that's, one of those things. And we don't know the demographic of the people voting, but I would have to assume, because it is Facebook driven, and it's really, we're not necessarily putting it up on the ESPN Northwest Florida Facebook. We're putting it up on our own. So we're getting more than likely, how many responses did we have? 125 or so?
Something like that,
yeah. So I would say out of that 125, a good chunk of 90% of those are probably people around our same age. So.
Hey, and I definitely want to give a shout out to a lot of people that, I don't know, obviously we can't see exactly who voted, but there were, out of all these responses, there were less on some movies, which is exactly what we asked. Like, if you went across it and you didn't know either movie, don't just vote for one just to do it. Like, vote for the movies you know. So there were some of these that had less votes, and I'm assuming just for that reason. It's just like, didn't really know either one of those. So.
Yeah. So, and it makes it easy if you've seen one, even if you didn't like it very much and haven't seen the other one.
Exactly. So, just thank you guys for voting fairly on that. So, obviously, before we talk about the round 2 matchups, we want to decide who moves on, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, we got to. And then we'll talk about the round 2 matchups and kind of do what we did the week prior, where it's seeing who we think will win and all that good stuff. And then here in the break of this, we'll go ahead and share the next form out and have that available for you guys and see how many responses we can get while we're live on the air. And then also, next week at 420, we'll be whittling it down to the round of 16 at that point. So we're going to have 32 movies, 16 matchups, and then next week it'll be down to 16 movies and 8 matchups. It's crazy once you get it started, and then just, wow, it goes away pretty quickly as well. All right, so what do we got here?
Okay, so the first one we have the game plan versus Like Mike. The game plan holds a 55 to 45% edge on this. So obviously this is the widest margin of the movies that we picked out to decide on, this was like right at the margin here, because I believe it was like 55.2 to 44.8 or something like that. Which is we're gonna round up and down on those. So
it's like Ted Lasso, 2.9%. Can I round down to 2%?
What a great show! Did you just started watching that?
No, I watched the two. One of the times that I had COVID, I watched the 2 seasons, and then it had, the 3rd season came out and everything, and I was telling Taylor, I was like, I think this is a show that, you would really enjoy it. I know that you would think that it would be geared towards me because of sports and everything, and we watched like the first season in a day and a half or so, and she's like, yeah, you were right. I really enjoyed this show.
I've been trying to tell my wife the same thing, like, you gotta give it a chance because it's so good. Like, Just to kind of, say this is a sidebar from this conversation.
Right.
Everybody listening, dude, if you have not watched Ted Lasso, find out a way on your TV, on your Xbox, like even if you have an Android, get Apple TV, you get a 3-month free trial. It's 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
And they have other good shows on that streaming service as well.
Severance is good. Shrinking is good. But Ted Lasso, especially for a sports fan, like...
See, that's where I kind of differ in a sense, because I don't think that you need to even be a percentage of a sports fan to like this.
You don't have to be, but if you are...
It levels it up a little bit, because there's some nuances that, competitive people will get, you know what I mean? But also the way that they just tie in so many good things, and it's got its moments of, I wouldn't even say raunchiness, but like it has a little language in there.
Yeah.
But it has so many of those 1990s sitcom feel good moments.
It does, and I will say, like, especially as somebody who struggles with some anxiety and everything, it really tackles those real issues, real life issues. Divorce, it tackles a divorce issue. Everything, man. It's probably the most well-rounded show I've ever watched. And I would highly recommend it.
That's saying something from, if any of you are friends with Kyle on Facebook, he's, big at, I don't want to say criticizing, but critiquing movies and shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I made a whole, you had a whole YouTube channel for a long time on doing stuff like that. So, but anyway, back into it. So game plan holds the advantage. But like Mike for our generation,
for me, keep going.
No, it was just like that, because Bow Wow was really big at the time. Mm-hmm. This was the movie that really, I think, kicked him into gear.
Yeah,
he, his rap career and everything. This made Bow Wow, and it was just like, not only did this spark his career and it sparked our childhoods, but it made us, like, we were on the court trying to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we always told ourselves.
And be like even the other, like Mike, at some point.
Absolutely.
But we were trying to live that dream even before that movie came out. And then while we're, trying to do that, they have the movie. So
yeah. And you're looking up at the power lines and you're seeing the shoes, like in your neighborhood, the shoes hanging from the power lines. Yeah. Like, I got to get those.
Yeah.
I got to get those down, because that's going to help me ball. But but the game plan, Disney movie, The Rock.
Yeah.
Maybe the movie that really kicked The Rock's film career into gear. If you watch, there's like videos about it and everything. I feel like I got to give the edge here to this.
To the game plan?
I just on a personal level.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think it's a better movie. Like
I've never seen the game plan, so that narrows it doesn't hurt. It just narrows my choice down to where it's like Mike or nothing for me. So it really comes down to a 3-person. This is one that we might have to wait till the next segment to get Amanda to give us her take there. What about when it comes to the Bad News Bears 76 versus 2005 there?
So once again, this one's exactly 50-50.
Yep.
I personally have not seen the 1976 version of Bad News Bears.
So that puts you right there in the same boat that I was previously in.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm actually going to go...
But you guys had this conversation last week, and I don't want to cut you off, but you guys had this conversation last week. We were picking who won. We kind of got a little bit too deep into this one. You guys both said that, you and Amanda and Drew actually all said that with the extra raunchiness of the one in the 70s, that you guys preferred that one. So I think... that we could probably
that's what I was going to say again, I was going to kind of reiterate that. So yeah, for me it would be 76, and I think Amanda would be the same way. So I think we can go ahead and take Bad News Bears, and who would that match them up against? So the 1976 Bad News Bears is going to move on here, and who do they see in the next round?
Well, do you want to do that now, or
just for that particular?
That'll put them to face Caddyshack.
Ooh, good luck, Bad News Bears. That's going to be a good matchup, man. Baseball versus golf, two older movies. That's going to be interesting. Can't wait to give our thoughts on that here in the next one. Then the next matchup that we've got to break down here, we've got a couple of minutes before we need to get to a break. Do you want to go ahead and just take this break, and then we'll come back and talk a little Braves and finish up our go to goat sports movies, or do you want to finish these two out right quick?
Man, we'll do them real quick.
All right,
do them
real quick here then,
because I might start the next one away for a second.
All right,
let's go Replacements, Moneyball.
All right.
I haven't seen Replacements, but it does hold a 55-45 advantage here over Moneyball. I have seen Moneyball. I didn't like it. This was one that I didn't vote on.
Really? You didn't like Moneyball?
Too slow? It was too slow for me. And I also don't like Brad Pitt.
Oh, really?
I don't like Brad Pitt a whole lot.
Okay.
So This movie was really tough for me to stomach. I love baseball. I love baseball movies, but this one was hard for me to get through. So I haven't seen The Replacements.
Okay.
But I know that I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Here's my thing is, for me, it would be Moneyball. And what I'm going to do with this one again here is kind of wait on Amanda, because I have a feeling she's going to go with Replacements. And at that point, it would be 1-1. So we might flip a coin for Moneyball versus Replacements, which I don't necessarily like because we did voting and everything. Honestly, here's what it's going to be. If me and Amanda sit there at a tie, Moneyball, Replacements, 55%.
The fan vote's got to go on.
Yeah, fan vote's got to go on.
Yeah.
So more than likely, you're going to see Replacements, but we'll find out from Amanda. If she does choose Moneyball, then we'll go that direction. And then your final one here is Rudy versus Karate Kid. Karate Kid 52, Rudy 48%. What is the answer for you? I'm going Karate Kid on that one.
Yeah, I got to push Karate Kid. Rudy is such a great movie, but we've had this exact conversation, I think, multiple times over the last couple of weeks since we started this whole bracket. Karate Kid has sparked so much more than just the movie at this point. Obviously, people still chant Rudy, Rudy at the Notre Dame games and everything, but Cobra Kai. All this stuff that is branched off. Cobra Kai is the most viewed show on Netflix.
Yeah. That's wild, too.
Exactly. Over Stranger Things, over Black Mirror, all the
Outer Banks.
All the Outer Banks. Out of all these shows that they've done, Cobra Kai is the most viewed.
Another one, this is totally off topic, but have you watched Manifest?
No.
You got to watch Manifest.
I just started Black Mirror, so.
You finish that one or whatever, but you got to check out Manifest, man. That one's one of those ones that just the twists and the turns keep you locked in.
I like it. I'll check it out.
All right, man.
That's, by the way, going to put Karate Kid up against We Are Marshall in the next round. And I know we haven't decided on Replacements, Moneyball, or Game Plan like Mike yet, but we will do that soon.
We will do that as soon as we find Amanda. Again, she's probably out there playing games and just trying to stay away from the microphone as long as she possibly can. This is the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick timeout. We're going to be right back, but I need y'all to come find us so we can give away our $10 Power Play gift card to Dave and Buster's. We'll be right back. Y'all keep it locked in to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point, starting Monday, June 26th. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach. Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club. Plus, all contestants instantly win a large bucket of balls on the driving range. Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the southwest, sprinkles and definite thunderstorms in 82. Light showers and definite thunderstorms tonight, about the same at 77. Tomorrow, definite thunderstorms and very heavy rain and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 83. The same at 83 Friday, and we'll have heavy rain and definite thunderstorms. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The break room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the break room.
Beggs' 100th win for the 24 team. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. Well, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in. To do hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
William Byron took advantage when his teammate Kyle Larson and Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain tangled in the final circuits to navigate the number 24 car to victory at Darlington Raceway in Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series Goodyear 400. In the process, Byron collected the 100th win for the iconic Kendrick Motorsports Chevrolet team, sporting livery from Jeff Gordon's 1998 50th anniversary All-Star race run.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we've had some amazing throwback schemes over the years, thanks to Exalta. This one definitely takes the cake. It's in victory lane, so we finally got one that worked out our way, and just pretty amazing what all happened there to go our way, and just thankful.
I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Starting June 26th. Listen to win a large bucket of balls and a round of golf at Bay Point Golf Club. It's the Blasted Bay from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. It's the Afternoon Underdogs. You're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're out here at Dave & Buster's Pier Park, still looking for someone to come out here and find us. We're in a very similar location to last week, but remember, you can only win once every 30 days. Well, or actually, it's Amanda's world here. We're just living in it. You can only win one time.
One time.
But
especially if it's like the same spot as last time.
Oh, yeah, no
Which
doubt.
I'm super glad. Like, I know we were talking earlier, like, hey, should we set up outside? And I thought about it, and I was driving here to work. I was like, monsoon.
Yeah,
whoa,
no doubt.
That was like right on top of us. That's crazy.
And that's the one thing, man. Just a little bit of water on this equipment would have us off the air for a little bit. Well, no, we would just go straight over to ESPN, but it would be difficult to do the Afternoon Underdogs with waterlogged equipment.
The Afternoon Waterlogs.
The Afternoon Waterlogs, no doubt. I'm David Hayes along with Amanda Muller. She's the Assistant General Manager out here at Dave & Buster's. Oh, I don't think I've told you about this, but you remember Gavin?
Yeah.
It's his birthday tomorrow. He's gonna do the show with us.
Yay!
Yeah, so we're gonna hang out with Gavin tomorrow for a couple of hours and talk some sports with the young man who's gonna be wrestling, taking his wrestling career to the next level. He'll be wrestling over there at Bay High with the Deaton coaches. That should be great stuff. Can't wait to find out how excited he is about that tomorrow afternoon. There was a couple real quick here, Amanda, and I'll let you get back to it, but we've got two that we've got to break ties on. So Bad News Bears 1976 moved on against 2005 Bad News Bears. I'm assuming you take 1976 over 2005.
Yeah.
All right. So that one, 1976 is moving on.
Okay, good.
Karate Kid moved on against Rudy. So it was a 52% compared to 48% for Rudy. Me and Kyle both went with the Karate Kid, so there's that. Now we've got Like Mike and the Game Plan left, and your decision here decides which one moves on. So Game Plan or Like Mike.
I gotta go with The Rock, man. Game Plan.
So Game Plan moves on. Game Plan moves on here. And then the final one here is The Replacements versus Moneyball. And then your decision sends it on. I went with Moneyball. Kyle's not voting here. So
you have to vote?
Well, because he hasn't seen Replacements. He has seen Moneyball, but he wasn't a big fan of it.
Haven't seen Replacements.
Moneyball.
You're going Moneyball?
Yes.
Moneyball moves on.
I love Moneyball. Moneyball is such a good movie.
And it's so wild. Every time I rewatch that, it's at least 2 times a year.
The Replacements is great, but I could watch Moneyball yesterday and today. I
Right.
can't do that with the replacements.
Right. And the thing for me that does it is Jonah Hill's in that movie, and
Yeah.
you're every time it's like,
In a normal role, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like, what is he doing in this movie? You know what I mean? And he plays such a great role there as well.
He's in another good movie right now on Netflix called You People.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
one to go
saw
check
You
out.
People. That was
is a-
hilarious.
That's
Eddie
a
Murphy.
great movie. I was
Yeah.
telling him about a series he needs to watch. Manifest.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, I'll
it's
have to
on.
watch that.
I was about to say Facebook. It's on Netflix,
It's on
as
Netflix?
well. Yeah, it's about this plane that disappears, and it's just.
Oh, I've heard good things. Mainly my Netflix looks like Blippi, Coco Melon, Baby Finn. That's
Yep.
we stay in the range.
Baby Shark,
Yes.
Jamie Tart,
Yes, sir.
All right,
Let's
so
sing the Roy Kent one next.
he's everywhere. All right, so here we are.
FCC got nervous.
We're moving on to round 2. So we'll go over the matchups, and then I'll just type in who's supposed to be facing who, and then we'll send it out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so matchups for round 2. Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, you've already got them pulled up. So, there's just a couple blank spots there that we got to fill in, but that's it. So
All
let's
right.
do it.
So first matchup we've got is Remember the Titans versus Space Jam here. So let's just kind of go through these as we have
This
before.
is
We've only got 6
already
minutes.
irritatingly tough.
Dude, it is, but I'll sit here and say that I think, and in fact, I'm going to do it a little bit different this week, and I don't mean to do this to sway voters, but I'm going to give who I think and who I'm going to vote for, whatever,
Yeah.
because it is what it is. We're down here to the round of 32. I'm going to vote for Remember the Titans here, and I think Remember the Titans win, but man, tough matchup for the Jordan Space Jam here.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength as you here. This is their classic 8-9 winner versus number 1 seed,
I
by the
know.
way.
Yeah.
Where this is like
This is FAU versus Purdue, and FAU.
Absolutely. We'll see if we get an FAU kind of advancement here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote for and I think Remember the Titans will move on. It's going to be hard not to vote for that all the way through.
Space Jam.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Bill Murray is in the movie. Like, you get a cameo from Bill Murray. You
true.
got Bugs Bunny.
All right, well, in that case, we
Tweety
need to put
Bird.
Zombieland in the bracket.
It's not a sport, but Zombieland is fantastic.
Zombie
That's
shooting
got
could be a sport.
Woody Harrelson
Los
in it.
Submarinos.
Yeah.
Tallahassee, boy.
Los Submarinos. Looking for the Titanic egos.
Woody Harrelson's character's from Cincinnati. He's a Reds fan. So.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man.
He makes that movie, but it is so good. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So good.
If
The
you
second
haven't seen Zombieland, must watch.
Second one was all right, but
I
first
didn't
one's-
see the second.
It's all right.
Because I didn't want to ruin the
for
first.
the second ones to live up to the first.
Yeah, I can't.
Especially when they have so long in between them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got to show Brody Zombieland for the first time, and it was just like one of those movies that's like, yeah, okay, this is a little bit above your age range, but just watch.
Yeah.
It was like,
yes. I'll rate it all.
double tap.
Double tap. Always double tap.
Next one we have is Benchwarmers versus A League of Their Own. This one's tough because you've got comedy versus, A League of Their Own definitely has some comedy to it as well, but you've got a legend and Tom Hanks in it. I think that I would vote for Benchwarmers, but I think A League of Their Own takes the W here.
I think I'm going to vote for it, and I think this will move on. League of Their Own. I'm unanimous on this one. I'm
going to vote for Benchwarmers, and I think Benchwarmers will move on.
And this is also someone who was calling out the WNBA last week too on Thursday.
However, we're just talking about movies, and it's a good movie.
Yes, exactly. No doubt. Invincible versus Facing the Giants.
Underrated matchup here. I think Invincible moves on. I will vote for Facing the Giants.
All right. I think Invincible moves on, and I think I vote for Invincible. But, man, if you could give an honorable mention or like a half vote or something to Facing the Giants, I would.
I'm with you. I'm voting for and believe Invincible are moving on.
All right. So we've got here option 1, which is supposed to be what? Going up against Waterboy.
This will be Game Plan.
The Game Plan versus Waterboy. So say goodbye to The Rock. What do I do after that? Just hit enter?
Yeah, then you're well,
The
that'll add
Waterboy is
another.
a clear and away winner here.
Yeah,
All right.
This is easy for me too.
All right, and then Caddyshack's going up against
the 1976 Bad News Bears.
Oh, 1976 Bad News Bears going up against the Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, clear and away winner.
I think this one will be closer than we think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be in the 60 to 40 range.
Deal, Murray.
I still think Caddyshack moves on, and I will vote for Caddyshack.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is closer than we think.
I have to agree with that. I'm voting Caddyshack. I think Caddyshack moves on, but I'm looking at one that we've got to break down again, a 55-45 split here. All right,
we'll see.
Moving on to Coach Carter taking on White Men Can't Jump. Two basketball movies here. One a little bit more funny, one a lot more serious. And I really think it's just going to depend on how much you like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, really.
A lot.
Yeah, for me, I think Coach Carter advances, and I know I'm voting for Coach Carter.
I think Coach Carter advances because when I think of the two movies, like, you get my feels involved, and I remember so much more from Coach Carter.
Yeah.
That I'm taking it.
Yeah, I think Coach Carter wins. I'm voting White Men Can't Jump, though.
Okay.
All right, let's go Field of Dreams, and who will they be taking on?
They are going to take on Moneyball.
Oh,
so you go from the basketball matchup to the baseball matchup
this one's
here.
so tough.
Wait till the next bracket here. Wait till the next side of this. We have an Adam Sandler
Moneyball
matchup.
and Field of Dreams.
I'm voting Moneyball. I think Field of Dreams just holds such a special place in people's hearts that Field of Dreams is somehow going to move on here.
I'm unanimous on Field of Dreams here.
I am voting for Moneyball, and it better make it through. If you haven't seen Moneyball, go watch it before you vote.
Yeah, there you go. We've got Major League 2 versus Sandlot, like all baseball matchups here. Major League 2 versus Sandlot. I think
Clear and
Sandlot.
away.
Yeah, I think Sandlot's like an 80-20 here.
Unanimous.
If this was Major League 1, if this was the original Major
It'd be
League,
different, but it
I
is
think
Major
it'd be
League
60-40.
Yeah.
But yep, no doubt. Happy Gilmore, a little Adam Sandler matchup.
No.
Happy Gilmore going up against the 2005 longest yard. I think Happy Gilmore. I think Happy Gilmore is going. I'm voting for Happy. I think he moves on, but man, it's going to be tough because
It sucks.
I don't know who I'm going to vote for.
This is so hard.
I think Happy Gilmore might be the better movie, which is the whole point of this, right? But I think I liked the new Longest Yard so much. I mean, for me, I was like, 2005. This was 18 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 12 years old. This has got Goldberg in it. The Great Khali is in it. There's
so many wrestlers.
Stone Cold's in it.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. So I'm a wrestling fan, and all these wrestlers are in it. Nellie's in it. It's and Terry Crews.
Bob Barker.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, Bob Barker.
Bob Barker is.
Terry Crews is in it, and there's so many like big time people in this movie that
The guy from Reading Rainbow.
Chris Rock. Chris Rock.
That's not the
was
guy
in
from
it.
Reading Rainbow, but
No,
I'm talking about
Chubbs.
That's
Happy Gilmore.
that's not the dude from Reading Rainbow, by the way.
no, it's not the guy from Reading
Star
Rainbow.
Trek
No.
or something.
No, I
Oh,
can't
no,
think
I'm
of his
tripping.
name.
I'm not good at this.
He's also in
stuff.
Rocky. He's also in Rocky.
He's
the
in
guy you're talking
Shawshank
about.
Redemption.
He's in Shawshank as well. Yeah.
No, and Chubbs wasn't in Shawshank.
He's in The Mandalorian as well. What's his name?
Either way.
No, but are
If you were to
he
hold
wasn't the Reading Rainbow
yeah,
guy?
it wasn't, because that was the dude on Star Trek.
Take a look.
It's in a book.
It's time to take a break,
His
guys.
name is like Lamar.
Let's do the run deal.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break here, and then
DMX
I'm
version.
gonna figure out.
All
who in
I'm
the
saying,
world-
I've got to do my matchup with this. If you held both copies of those movies up and said, which one do you want to watch tonight? The Longest Yard.
All right, there you go. The longest yard according to Amanda, but it doesn't
it's gonna
matter
be
what we
tough.
think. It matters what you guys think, and
Not
we're
till
going to be
next week.
posting this here in just a few short moments. When we get back, we're going to wrap this up, then we'll get into Would You Rather. We've only got 2 more segments to go. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up to the minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Light rain and likely thunderstorms tonight with a light breeze out of the west-southwest around 6 miles per hour, and look for the low to be 77. Tomorrow morning, there will be light rain and likely thunderstorms with the temperature reaching 82. Likely thunderstorms and sprinkles in the afternoon and evening with a high of 83. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Me and my I Do crew have 50 years experience, and we have more certified diamonds in stock at the best prices in town. So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, come see me, your diamond girl, and my I Do crew at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, because we don't work on commissions. We work for smiles and I Do's.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The battle for a sixth straight division crown is on, and the Braves are on a charge to bring it home to Atlanta.
3-1. That is jolted. Deep right center field and kiss that goodbye. 1-0 Braves on the homer by Olsen.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball live from Citizens Bank Park as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on the Philadelphia Phillies.
First pitch tonight at 5:40, right after the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's.
We are back. It's the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. And yeah, I was absolutely wrong. Carl Weathers is Chubbs from Happy Gilmore, but to me, I will always think that is the guy from Reading Rainbow. So hour number 2 here. Let's finish up with our goat of goats here for hour number 2. Don't forget your Atlanta Braves are right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coverage starting tonight at 5:40, and that's the first pitch. A.J. Smith-Shaw, we're going for the Bravos, and he'll go up against Aaron Nola for the Phillies. We're on to the Gridiron Gang versus Ali.
Man, another tough one. I'm going to vote for Ali. I think Gridiron Gang moves on.
I'm voting for Gridiron Gang here, and I think Ali moves on.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that. I'm wanting Gridiron Gang for my own vote, but I think Ali moves on.
All right. Let's move on here to the next matchup between Cool Runnings and Major League. I'm voting. I hate this because Cool Runnings is one of the greatest movies of all time, but so is Major League. So by just a bit outside amount of a vote here, I'm going to take Major League over Cool Runnings, and I think Major League will also move on.
I'm unanimous on Major League as well, but good movie.
Honorable mention to Cool Runnings, but Major League far and away takes this one.
Yeah. All right. Dodgeball versus 42. Again, this is going to come down to do you prefer comedy or are you racist? Well,
no, we're just kidding. We're just kidding.
I think that was
but
uncalled for there. Dodgeball versus 42. I'm voting Dodgeball. I think 42 moves on. That's just because I prefer comedy movies, and 42 is a fantastic movie. It's a great movie, but I think I'm gonna vote Dodgeball.
But you think 42 moves on?
Yes, I think. I think 42 moves on.
I'm voting for Dodgeball, and I think it moves on because of the demographic we have voting.
Okay.
Yeah, like people our age.
Yeah, it's our age people are going to go for Dodgeball, I think. But if you haven't seen 42, man,
you're missing out.
You got to see it.
It's
kind of
crazy.
Chadwick Boseman, like that kind of did that put him on the map?
I think so, yeah, because that got him the T'Challa role in the MCU. That got him the Black Panther role. So
cool.
Which another fantastic movie, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that, you don't really have to be a superhero comic book fan to watch Black Panther.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you don't have to be a superhero to watch this movie. Like, I don't know if I'd watch any movie if I was a superhero.
I still would. I'd see if they get it right.
Yeah,
I think I'm unanimous on Dodgeball as well. We're kind of, this is a little bit harder than the athletes one because you're knocking like, it was easy to say like, okay, well, Tiger Woods is way better than, let's just say,
me at golf.
Steph Curry at that point, probably.
It's close, but
it's close, but
yeah, close, very close. Like I can get his whole score on the front nine, probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have never played golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Mini golf, though, I don't think he could beat me.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay.
Me against Tiger Woods.
He's got his own courses and everything. You don't think that
like putt-putt courses. Or I
Tiger
guess
Woods does?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, random thing, because he said Steph Curry. Did you ever see the Holy Moly that he started?
Yeah. That's a fun show.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
I would love to take y'all on in some Holy Moly golf.
You would not even touch me.
Please.
Yeah. Like that.
Please. You haven't beat me at one game in here.
We haven't played each other in one game in here.
That's not true. You don't know.
Yes, it is.
You weren't.
Because he's like, wait a minute, you're right. Yeah, we haven't played each other.
I think we have played the football game against each other, and you beat me.
Yeah, well, then I did
So you
beat
want to
you,
know. But that's because I felt bad because you're a girl.
Oh, whatever. One of these days after the show, I'll make it so we can go straight over to the Skywheel, and we'll have a ESPN.
What, are we going to climb the Skywheel?
No, they've got a putt-putt course right here.
Oh, yeah. I will whoop your tail in that.
One of these Wednesdays.
I keep my putter in the ESPN van.
One of these Wednesdays, we're doing it. We're going to do some after Wednesday golfing, and I will post a video of my victory.
I'll beat you with an exploding ball.
They have exploding balls?
Well, you got to... Yes. You just got to go to...
What's that like a practical joke store?
Spencer's.
That is hilarious. I've got to do
Lance
that.
Armstrong.
Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. We're on to Talladega Nights. Man, God.
Talladega Nights?
I'm on envelope today.
Right? Like you are, the FCC is nervous.
Well, no, listen,
They're not.
I get in trouble when I say things that I didn't say, so I might as well just make it
Yeah,
bad.
just say it.
Oh,
might as well just live on
So
the
who's
edge.
Talladega Nights up against?
Better on the edge than the shed. Talladega Nights versus Airbud is the next
Oh,
one.
no.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is tough, but Talladega
Shake and bake,
Nights.
baby.
Yeah, shake and
Yeah,
bake.
shake and
Talladega
bake, of
Nights.
course. Who's gonna look at the puppy?
We're gonna
Look
shake.
at the puppy.
And bake. Yeah,
Sorry,
shake.
I didn't see
I know. I was like, he was waiting.
Oh yeah,
Bake.
all right, so we are So we all agree there.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights moving on here, or we think, anyways. We are Marshalls going up against
Karate Kid.
Oh wow, those are some classics there. So with this one, I'm voting and think also as well that the Karate Kid's going to be moving on here.
I am teetering on the edge of who I'm voting for here. We Are Marshall, such a good movie. Cameo from Bobby Bowden, of course, in that movie as well. But I think Karate Kid, once again, it's done so much more for the movie industry. So
Karate Kid takes it.
All right, then. This is a tough one, but it's gonna. I can't believe this. All right, so I'll say this now. For me, my favorite movie out of all of these, I think, is The Rookie, because I was living down there in St. Pete when this movie came out. It was about the Rays. Dennis Quaid was a great actor as well. So if I had my way and I wasn't trying to do this the right way, I would move The Rookie all the way up to the top. But it's going up against Rocky in the entire franchise, and I really don't know if there's a movie that stands up to, what is it? Is it Rocky 5 or 6 movies?
It depends on if you count the Creed stuff.
Yeah, then you're talking about 11 movies.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's
for
a lot.
me, Rocky moves on, and I vote for Rocky. So
I'm going to vote for Rocky, but I think in our baseball-loving town that we could see an upset here. I know for a fact, I 100% will guess right now that we will be talking about this one next week.
All right, man. And then, so do I just press send to put it out, or?
Yeah, you should just, or you have to go up to the top and hit
I'll just let you take care of that. The final one that we have here is Karate Kid 2 versus the Mighty Ducks. I'm sick of all the sequels out there, except for the Rocky franchise gets a little bit of special credit there. I'm going to take the Mighty Ducks over Karate Kid 2 there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Dave.
What about you, Amanda? Karate Kid 2 versus the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. Karate Kid 2 was good, and there's some pieces from it, but like in my head, when I can't make a decision, I've just got to think, like, what do I remember from each movie the most? And the Mighty Ducks is just way too good.
Yeah.
The Flying V.
The Flying V, the uniforms, what's his name? Emilio Estevez as well.
Emilio's Charlie Sheen's brother.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's brother. That is definitely
Martin Sheen's
wild
kid.
Whenever you kind of figure that out, or when I figured
the
that out.
Estevez thing, yeah.
Spencer Strider, we're going into the Braves update here. Do we have anything left to do with outside of just tell the people, get over to Facebook right now. Go to Kyle Wright's Facebook page. You can go to...
I'm going to get it posted on my page right now, and I'll tag everybody here.
Yeah, and then I'll share it too.
You can try to find Amanda's Facebook page. You can find
Don't
me.
add me as a friend, though, if I don't know you.
It'll be on my OnlyFans as well, guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Follow Kyle's OnlyFans. You can find it right there.
If people were able to find your Facebook, you probably get flooded with like 75 friend requests within the hour. 850-215-6290. We are looking for we're taking your text here on ESPN Northwest Florida. But the Braves update brought to you by the Break Room. The special today, I believe, is chicken pot pie. Gotta love some chicken pot pie. Tomorrow is going to be hamburger steak, and on Friday it's the chicken quesadilla. On weekends you can get wings for just $1. All of these specials are just $12, and that comes with a drink and a side. Go see Chef Ross down at the Break Room. Tell them that you were sent by David Hayes and the Afternoon Underdogs. Braves get the win against the Phillies last night, 4-2. Spencer Strider, Dwight Gooden, only 2 pitchers since 1901 to reach 300-plus strikeouts in their first 35 career starts. I believe he's got like 30 other strikeouts that don't count because they were in relief appearances. Ronald Acuna Jr. last night, he's up to 31 stolen bases, which leads the league. And for the third time last night, he stole third without the pitcher even throwing the ball to home plate.
That's crazy.
He's sitting there and just kind of no one's holding him on. The pitcher's not even looking back at him. He's very focused on what pitch he's got to make and stuff. But before he can even lift his leg up, Ronald's already on third base, which is a lot of fun to watch. Matt Olson's hitting the ball well. It's so insane. We lost Travis d'Arnaud, essentially our backup catcher who could be catching on 20 other, let me not say that, but at least he could be the starting catcher for like 10 other MLB franchises. But he's the backup here with Atlanta to Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy went out. He's looking at day-to-day for now. Could take a trip to the IL with some right hamstring tightness. But Travis d'Arnaud, it comes in his place, and it's like you don't really take a step off there. And I think the biggest thing that Snit's done, and I'm really interested to see how Sam Peebles would feel about it or thinks about it, but to move Ozzie up to that second spot in the lineup, and then you drop Matt Olson down to fifth. Well, I think it's proved dividends, or it's proved well for Matt Olson and Ozzie, especially if he's up against left-handed pitching. He's hitting like 425 against left-handed pitching, so can't wait for that. Give you another little opportunity here. Joey Votto back with the Cincinnati Reds now after spending the first portion of this season down there in Louisville with the Bats. But just talk, the Braves and the Reds are set for a weekend series here, and that's going to be a lot of fun for me and you. But kind of just walk us through what the Reds have been up to, and how impressive. I'm not going to sit here and say it's as impressive as some of the stuff that we hear day in and day out about Shohei Ohtani, but that's different. But with Ellie De La Cruz, he seems like one of those players like Ronnie, like Fernando Tatis Jr. I would say more exciting than what Juan Soto is. You know what I mean? The speed that these guys bring to the table, the athleticism, and the thing that stands out more so with Ellie than it does with Ronnie, than it does with Fernando Tatis. He's playing like a guy who doesn't have the talent as the other guys, but makes up with it with his hustle, except for the fact is he does have the talent and everything, but he still hustles like if he gets out, it's going to be his last day playing Major League Baseball, and you absolutely got to love that. So what have you been seeing from your Cincinnati Reds, and then we'll kind of walk us through the series between the Braves and the Reds.
Like we said there in that opening segment, it was 2 weeks ago we were here like, hey man, the Reds only 5 back. Last week we were here, the Reds only 2.5 back. And now we're here today, and the Reds are officially 2 games up in first place in the NL Central for the first time in a long time. This is the latest that they've led the Central in quite a while into the season. 11-game winning streak right now, going in red hot into this series this weekend with the Atlanta Braves, which, I know you got the London series this weekend, and this is complete bias, but this is the series of the weekend in baseball to me. This is easily the one to keep your eyes on if you're a baseball fan, just because you could see a power shift in the National League. this weekend. I think, the Braves are the team to beat right now in the National League. There's no debate against that. They have the best record in the National League.
There's so many good series this weekend, too, though.
Oh, yeah?
Astros, Dodgers, which I would still take Braves, Reds over that, but Astros, Dodgers is a rematch of that 2017 season. Again, I'll take the Braves, Reds over that. You've got Rangers, Yankees. I'll still take the Braves, Reds over that just because of how hot the Reds are and everything.
Are there any
Rangers, Yankees is
Are there any
interesting.
first place matchups this weekend other than ours?
Where it's like two teams from first place in the division. I don't think that there is, man.
So this is the one, right?
That's what I said. It's the best, but there are some good ones.
There's some good baseball this weekend. Not to disparage anything.
Well, then you've got one here with the Diamondbacks and the Giants could sweep the Diamondbacks and still not be in first place in the West. But still, the fact that the Giants are above the Dodgers in the West right now by a full game is is crazy. But still, I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I just started scanning down the list, and I'm like, well, no, you're right. Mariners, Orioles could be interesting if the Mariners were a little bit higher there in the West. But yeah, I mean, when was the last time though that it was like Braves, Reds, this series actually means something? And here's the other thing: is the Braves are really only 7.5 games better than the Reds right now.
Yeah, which is crazy to think when you think about how the Reds really started a couple weeks ago when we were having these conversations. But it's like I was saying, man, it's crazy because you've got the powerhouse of the National League right now, the best team in the National League, the Atlanta Braves, and for the Reds, you've got the hottest team in baseball coming into this, and you have an opportunity to either see the Braves prove why they're the top dog, or the Reds prove why they're the next big dog. Right, so this series is going to be so much. It just obviously for us as Reds and Braves fans, I know we'll be talking to each other all weekend. The Reds and Braves have so many things going right, but for everything that's going right, I can name a couple things that are really going wrong for the Reds, even in the midst of an 11-game winning streak.
I would say that the Braves and the Reds have something in common as well, is that the starting rotation, especially when you look at the top of the rotation, there's a lot of injuries there. Hunter Green on the IL. Well, Max Fried on the IL. Bryce Elder, Spencer Strider kind of hanging on, or, heading up the rotation. But, man, look over there for you guys. Lodolo, is he going to be back for this series? I know he's not.
Won't be back until August.
So we'll go over through the starting pitchup matchup. On Friday, it's going to be Jared Schuster going for the Braves. This is going to be 540. And it's going to be Luke Weaver going for the Reds. And obviously things could change here, but that is, if I'm looking here right, he's a relief pitcher. So is that a bullpen game more than likely for you guys?
Luke Weaver? No, he's a starter.
Okay, it says relief pitcher.
What does it say?
It just says that here, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm not even looking at the stats.
Maybe they know something that I don't know.
Well, he is from DeLand, Florida, which is
he's a Florida State
cool,
guy.
Though. Yeah, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, he started all 11 of his games this year, so he is a starting pitcher. I saw that and I was like, wait, is that going to be a bullpen game for the Reds? But we'll move on here. I know I cannot stand when the Braves. I know that every now and again you got to trot out a bullpen game, and that's all well. Do what you got to do to save your arms and stuff. But at the end of the day, the Braves have not done well this year when led by a bullpen game. On Saturday, I know you guys are undecided. For the Braves, it's going to be Charlie Moore. And
Saturday says undecided because it was supposed to be Hunter Green.
Okay.
The good thing for the Braves here is that they're dodging Hunter Green. They're dodging Andrew Abbott.
The top three guys for you.
Yeah, Lodolo's out. But I think this is going to end up being Graham Ashcraft for the Reds here.
All right.
So that'll be his first start back off the IL.
And then Spencer Strider's supposed to be going Sunday. That seems like a quick turnaround, but no, that would be the 5th day there because he pitched last night. So Spencer Strider going up against Ben Lively there.
Yeah, I think that's actually
who's from Pensacola. That's pretty cool. I mean, you guys got some Florida boys over there.
I didn't know that about Ben Lively.
I'm gonna have to find him on Twitter. I bet he's still kind of not as popular enough to have his DMs open on Twitter.
So this will be a fun matchup this weekend. I think you've got a good opportunity. You're probably going to see some runs scored. Braves and Reds, similar problems there. Like if the starting pitching doesn't get hit, then the bullpen gets hit. It's crazy. The Reds have a top 5 bullpen in baseball right now, though. So if we're able to keep it close, I give the Reds the advantage. But if it comes down to a scoring matchup, there's no way the Reds can match the Braves.
It's a tough. I mean, dude, that's a crazy thing about watching them, especially that Colorado Rockies series when we lost game 1. It wasn't too long ago. We lost 2 or 3 to the A's. Then you go to Detroit, you lose game 1 there, and then they sweep the doubleheader, and then they sweep a 4-game series, and that's not even the most impressive part. Well, maybe it is that they swept a 4-game series, but the fact that they're putting up like 8+ runs a game, and again, we're talking about the Rockies, so it's not like that's just incredibly impressive, but still, to do your job, that's the whole thing that we've said, or I've said about the Braves this year, is it almost feels like they're playing to their competition, but when you get in that 4-game set and you do your job and you win the games the way that you're supposed to be winning them, which in all reality in the game of baseball, win by 1 run, you did your job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how it panned out, all of that
1-0, 9-8.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking back at that score in 6 months.
Exactly.
It's all about the win.
That should be a very fun series between the Braves and the Reds. I'm trying to pull up some stats here, but I don't think that it's going to be anything on what's going on this year. So head-to-head record, though, I mean, the Reds, they've been having the best of the Braves. Last year, anyways, they were getting the best of the Braves in their latest series. The Reds took 2 or 3 from the Bravos, but you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're either going to play some Would You Rather if Amanda's in the building with us and when we get back for our final segment, or me and Kyle will go round for round here with the little NFL college football stuff. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to play take a quick time out here, pay some of our bills, and then we shall return.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Blasted Bay Point, starting Monday, June 26th. Listen to Win Your Tee Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach. Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club. Plus, all contestants instantly win a large bucket of balls on the driving range. Listen to Win the Blasted Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Light rain and likely thunderstorms tonight with a light breeze out of the west-southwest around 6 miles per hour, and look for the low to be 77. Tomorrow morning, there will be light rain and likely thunderstorms with the temperature reaching 82. Likely thunderstorms and sprinkles in the afternoon and evening with a high of 83. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
The battle for a 6th straight division crown is on, and the Braves are on a charge to bring it home to Atlanta.
3-1. That is jolted. Deep right center field and kiss that goodbye. 1-0 Braves on the homer by Olsen.
Tonight, don't miss a minute of Atlanta Braves baseball live from Citizens Bank Park as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on the Philadelphia Phillies.
First pitch tonight at 5:40, right after the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hometown sports talk from hometown hosts.
People are loving it.
We're live and local. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Are you kidding me?
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. We are not in the doghouse today because we're out here at Dave & Buster's, and for the first time in 3 or 4 weeks, we have not got a winner. And you got about 15 minutes because we're out today at 5:38. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're out here at Dave & Buster's in Pier Park without the assistant general manager in Amanda Muller, which has ruined her chance at getting in on the Would You Rather. So what I'm going to do, more than likely, Kyle, is save that for tomorrow so that easens or lightens the load for my show prep tomorrow afternoon, which don't forget the Coach James Hale Show from 7 to 9 a.m. Right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Then the Inside Drive from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Experience the shift from from morning to afternoon with the Inside Drive. That's Ryan Mulvey, Jay Henley. I'm running the board for those guys as well. Then we wrap up your afternoons from 4 to 6. No Drew Gorman tomorrow because he is right now getting ready to be in the outfield there in Anaheim to watch Shohei Ohtani sling the rock, which is going to be a pretty cool experience, man.
What an absolute honor that would be to say that you did.
Yeah.
Especially in LA.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to go see him play on the road. It would still be incredible. They play the Braves in Atlanta here at the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Thinking we're going to have to try to make something happen there. But you see the way my bank account works.
The way my bank account's set up, no, I would absolutely love to. The good thing is he'll be back in 2 years. You know what I mean? The way that the schedules are set up, you're going to be able to see every superstar in the league if you want to once a year there. So that is some great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's dive into let me see. Do we want to play a little overwritten or understated, or do we want to focus on some college football here? Let's do this. We'll kind of bounce back and forth. I want to remind you guys, we've only got 65 days until the first college football game, and we were taking a look at some of the Week 1 matchups, which FSU LSU is going to be the biggest matchup, which is actually going to be on a Sunday, and then that Monday night, which will be for Labor Day, is going to be Clemson and Duke. You're going to have North Carolina, South Carolina on the docket. That's going to be good, but there's not a plethora of great matchups in round 1. My question for you, Kyle, is going to be the biggest question for 2023. What's your biggest question for 2023 for the college football season? If it pertains to FSU, then I'll answer after that, after you give that one, and then I want you to give one that's not dealing with your team.
So I'll give one that deals with my team. And, by the way, guys, I don't know why I haven't plugged this before here. Know It All podcast. Check it out on Spotify. That's myself. Just me usually. I'm going to have some guests on recording tonight. New episode coming out Saturday. We're going to break down the first 6 games of FSU's schedule. So if you're an FSU fan, I think I do a good job. Uncensored Florida State podcast. Come have some fun. Listen to that. My biggest question for FSU.
Y'all should listen to my FSU. No, I'm just kidding.
Me and Dave's podcast is still in the works. No, but my biggest question pertaining to FSU would be, can they handle the expectation and the hype coming into the season?
Gotcha.
Because, now you have a 10-win season last year, and you're bringing back a lot of starters, including a guy who would have been a top 10 to 15 draft pick at the worst in Jared Verse, one of the best defensive ends in college football last year. You're bringing back a lot. You had a killer. You had the number 1 transfer portal class. You just brought in another big-time wide receiver out of Michigan State in the transfer portal. So you've got probably the best wide receiving core in college football. You've got the highest-graded quarterback per Pro Football Focus in college football coming back. You've got a top 5 running back coming back. You've got all these things. Can you manage the expectations and turn them into reality? That would be my question for FSU, because a lot of FSU fans know that's how FSU's always been. They win when you're not supposed to, and when they have a chance, they don't. So we'll see. My biggest question coming outside of FSU is, does Caleb Williams have that Heisman hangover this year? Because USC's schedule is favorable. Lincoln Riley has a coach that we don't talk about enough, probably the best coach in college football that hasn't won a national championship yet, just because you look at how fast he's gotten UFC to that cliff. But the key is, is Caleb Williams going to have that Heisman hangover this season?
I think so. Here's I've got 3 of them that I've been thinking of here. One of them is my biggest one. I think is the nation's biggest one. Is Ohio State going to be able to hang with Michigan this year? If they don't, is what happens with Ryan Day? I think he'll still be the coach, but also if I was the athletic director of Ohio State and we lose 3 years in a row to Michigan, one of those being at the house where, we should have not been blown out. But that's the kicker is if we just lose 3 close ones, no big deal. But if I get blown out 2 out of 3 years by my rival, then we've got to look in the mirror. We got to look deep in the mirror. And, Ryan Day can win 11 games, but if he's losing the big one, I don't know how Ohio State fans react to that.
And, this is the top-notch rivalry in college football, Dave. So, it's probably the top rivalry nowadays in college football.
I think that you can make the argument because some of the other ones are kind of,
well, especially, last year they both made it, but the year before that it was like winner gets in kind of thing. So you look at that, and I think that, and I don't want to speak for Ohio State fans, but this is the kind of rivalry where if you ask them, and this was like this a couple years ago, so now that the playoffs are involved and expanding more, I don't know if it's still like this, but they would rather go 7-5 and beat Michigan than go 11-1 and lose to Michigan.
And they have championship aspirations.
Right.
But if you had to give them that choice, now if they lose to Michigan, or if they're 11-1 and lose to Michigan, they're still eligible though for the college football playoff. Especially when you get to, especially next year when you get to that 12-team college football playoff. But man, that's tough, and it would be interesting to see Ohio State's fans. Because here's my thing: I liken it to Alabama-Auburn. You go 11-1 and lose to Auburn, or you go 7-5 and beat Auburn. Man, that's tough, right? Because you don't get to watch a lot of football at 7-5. You get to watch about 12, or you get to watch 13 games. Right. You're not going to win the SEC at 7-5. And so, man, but I don't know how many years I've seen it when I was younger, losing 6 years in a row to Auburn. And that one, that is tough.
There's a good would you rather question, like just something to think about off the top of my head there. Like, would you rather your team go 10-2 every year and beat your rivals, or go 11-1 every year, make it to the playoff every year, but you're going to lose to Auburn or LSU every year?
Yeah, you're going to lose to one rival, which in a sense already counts. Well, actually, it's been different because Alabama doesn't normally lose to the rivals. LSU is kind of a different story. Auburn, you never know what tricks they got up their sleeve or what's going to be happening. Jordan Hare, no doubt. But at the end of the day, look, 2 back-to-back years, Ole Miss, back-to-back years, Texas A&M, I think. You know what I mean? It's always been kind of those, outliers or whatever. So yeah, that's a tough one. I think we'll save that for next week. I think that would be fun to do with a would you rather that's got 4 different people on it, so we can kind of go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But I like that. My other question is going to be for the Florida Gators and Billy Napier. We had a question the other day: is what's a team right now in college football that is kind of there was a few years back when you were on the show every day with us where we were when Michigan's playing better, college football's in a better spot. When Florida State's better, college football's in a better spot. Well, here we are with Florida now, and you're more than likely not going to agree with this, especially because last year, even though y'all had a much better record than Florida, the game in and of itself was just like a typical rivalry game. Outside of that was not a typical football game at all, you know what I mean? But it was a great football game. So that's my thing is Billy Napier going to be able to do enough here in 2023 to save his job for 2024 to kind of get them in the right direction? It's just the roster as it stands today is not very pretty, but the recruiting is on the uptick, and I would like to see Florida, and they need to, especially for Florida fans, for our area, when Florida and Florida State are playing at high levels, this area is just crazy because then you sprinkle in the Alabama fans and the Georgia fans that are here. Now is Auburn going to be able to hit that next level with Hugh Freeze? Does Jimbo Fisher win more than 8 games? And now all of a sudden the SEC seems like an uninhabitable island.
Yeah, so what's crazy is this is the last year of the 2 divisions in the SEC, but it's happening where the shift is starting to go, the power is starting to shift more to the SEC East now.
Yeah.
You're going to have Tennessee's going to be good now, Georgia's going to be good, South Carolina's going to be good with Shane Beamer over there. That dude's an incredible coach. So I think that college football needs Florida to be good more than it needs Miami to be good.
Yeah.
Like, I think Miami.
But Miami's another team, though.
Well, Miami is another team, but I
great.
think college football survives without Miami now.
Yeah.
Because it has for so long. Like last champion, it's been over 20 years since Miami's even been relevant.
Yeah, but they've been relevant in the other sports. Well, specifically college basketball,
men's and women's.
And baseball as well.
Baseball as well, but I just mean like in the one that matters to everybody around here.
Right.
And the big one. Not saying that, the other sports don't matter, but this, we are in the heart of the South here. It's college football territory. That's what everyone listens to our show for, Coach Hale's show. Like, college football's king. I think college football survives without Miami. I think Florida has to be good. I don't know if Billy Napier survives a 4-8 season, though.
Yeah, no, and that's going to be tough. And kind of back to Miami, though, is they didn't get the showing that they wanted out of Tyler Van Dyke last year.
Right.
Can he kind of resurge and rebound? And then it's going to be, year 2 with Mario Cristobal?
They're bringing back essentially the same roster.
You're right.
And it's just not looking good for Miami, in my opinion. People I'll tell you what they call Mario Cristobal off the air, but they call Billy Napier Cajun Willie Taggart.
Yeah. So that came from one of his players, right?
Cajun Taggart came from one of his players.
Oh, man, and he was not a part of the squad very long there after that whole debacle. But, yeah, I would like to see Florida kind of step up. And then for Alabama, 2 new coordinators. There's so many questions, honestly, and I think real Alabama fans will tell you that there is a lot of circumstances that you're or not circumstances, but a lot of questions revolving around this Alabama team. 2 new coordinators: Tyler Buckner, Jalen Milroe. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Ty Simpson? You just don't know. The running back room. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many questions. And the thing is, though, what I think Alabama fans have learned during the tenure of Nick Saban is like, when there's so much hype around them, it's hard to live up to that you're going undefeated type hype or whatever. But when they've got teams that are kind of going under the radar, they do a little bit better. So we'll have to see about that. But and also another question is, it's the final year for the 4. You know what I mean? So, like,
this is the last year of the 14th playoff. Yeah.
So with that being said, do you think that the committee will sit there and be like, absolutely no way are we doing 2 teams from a single conference?
I wonder if they'll do that, or I wonder if they're going to say, like, all right, this is the last year.
Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State. Let's get it.
2 for me, a 2-on-2 tag team match, player. No, man, that's an interesting one, Dave, because it could go that way, where they say, we're not putting 2 from each conference. Or this could be the year where they say last year of 4, we let TCU in last year. They had the big win over Michigan.
They did.
They had the big win over Michigan, but then they got embarrassed in the national championship.
Right.
So we're not putting that TCU in this year. If they're not undefeated, they're not in. Maybe that's what they do this year.
Okay.
I hope they don't.
I can agree with that to an extent, but my other issue on that is, like, you got to be undefeated. Sure, cool, but again, their only loss was in the Big 12 championship game. Very close game at that. But my biggest thing would be that, or my argument to that would be, but they beat Michigan. I don't care what happened in that national championship game. I don't care how badly you got embarrassed. You did what you had to do to get to that game. So that would be my argument against that. And then you go to even teams like Washington when they got in. What did Alabama beat them by? 17. That's not a huge. Now, obviously, I think Alabama's game plan when they're playing against the Washingtons and the Cincinnatis is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're out there waxing the floor with them. So I just don't see why. But here's what I want from this year being the final year. I don't necessarily want to see, no doubt. I don't want to see the 4 most deserving teams. I want to see, for our final year here, it's our last crack at this, again, go with the 4 best teams, but the bar none best teams.
I just think that you reach into too deep of an opinionated territory there.
Yeah, you do.
And when people are given opinion,
so is most deserving, but
that's fair. Go ahead.
We're out of here, man. That's gonna do it for the Afternoon Underdogs from Dave and Buster's. We got the Coach James Hale Show weekdays from 7 to 9 tomorrow. The Inside Drive from 11 a.m. to 1, and we'll wrap up your Thursday afternoon tomorrow from 4 to 6. Y'all have a great day. Braves are up next.
104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Hey, troops, Coach Manley from the Coach James Hale Morning Show. Now you can take me with you everywhere you go with the new app from ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going everywhere together. Tyndall Credit Union drive-through window. Hitting the links at the Sunny Hills Golf Course. Sorry there, buddy, didn't mean to hit you that. Testing the margaritas at Los Angeles. That's my best job. And I can take you to the outhouse with me. Some fun, huh? Download the app at Apple Store and Google Play. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN.